Well, guys, welcome back to CWRL's Fight Night at the Freedom Factory. We have just completed round one, and the top four in points did not have a good points day. There's no other way to really put it. They had abysmal points days. The Candymen were completely shut out in round one. They will leave with 10 points, just the pity points for today, so they'll leave with the same amount of points as if they had never qualified at all. Boogity Racing went from stunning performance at World War Wall to an abysmal performance here, having only scored 4 points in their round and thus 14. The Intimidators being the cream of this crop with 9 points scored in their round for 19 points on the day. They will remain in their current point standings as of now, but we will see how these other teams perform, as number one Racing will go on to take the Rainbow Warriors, and Junior Nation will go on to face the Smokehouse. Junior Nation has a 38-point advantage over the Smokehouse, whereas number one Racing has a 39-point advantage over the Rainbow Warriors. So it should be interesting to see how this next round turns out. And in round two, we increase the clock length from 10 minutes to 15 minutes. So this gives these teams more chance to score points, or now, in this case, a chance to play the role of spoiler and prevent the other team from catching up and scoring points, or vice versa. That being said, I believe the roster is ready for round two. No, they are not. So let's fix that real quick. There we go. Number one Racing going on to take the Rainbow Warriors in this 15-minute matchup here at the Freedom Factory. My name is once again Geek Guru 1986, and thank you guys so much for joining us here. Whether you watch live or the replays or whatever, I'm just glad people will join in, jump in, and enjoy the content that is coming out of my imagination, because this is essentially roller jam with race cars, and I really enjoy seeing how it unfolds and how this will all evolve.
Drivers,
I mean, you never
to
know.
your
It
cars.
could wind up into a full-out sim race where I have actual teams with actual people trying to score these points instead of the AI, and that would be interesting to see. But in any case, we have randomized lightning round qualifying here, and you can see that the checker car for the Rainbow Warriors will be starting on point, with the checker car for number one Racing starting in third, and the wrecker car for each opposing team will be starting to their outside. So that should be interesting to see how all of this unfolds in front of our eyes.
Drivers, start your engines!
Drop myself into that. We don't need
Drivers, to your cars.
Let's get this event going.
Drivers,
As his car works turn 3 and 4, see him coming off the track here. 15 minutes on the clock, and the green flag is out, the clock is on, and we are underway here in round 2. Oh! Number one Racing shooting themselves in the foot as the checker car for the Rainbow Warriors comes out to an early lead here, leading lap 1 with their wrecker car playing wingman in second spot. The checker car for number one Racing still holding in third. Meanwhile, you see that the wrecker car all the way back in the 10th position, already a lap down to the leaders here, as the leaders come into turn 3 and 4. The Rainbow Warriors outscoring points early on, as number 1 Racing got caught up in self-inflicted chaos early on in this heat race. We got 14 minutes remaining as we are working on lap 4 right now. The checker car for the Rainbow Warriors holding the way, scoring point after point with every additional lap led. And they're going to need these points too, because they were already 38 points down on the leader. And that checkers car is still in a respectable 3rd position, has the leaders in his sights. So it's not like anything could change here at the Chocolo Pit, because it very easily well could. Working lap 7 now as the Rainbow Warriors stacking on to their point total here, trying to catch up to number 1 Racing, who came into this round with 58 points. The wrecker car for number 1 Racing was caught up in a bit of bad luck, but has since worked past a couple of traffic jammers and is now working his way back up through the field in the 8th position, as he sees more traffic jammers in his windshield. You can see that the number 1 checkers car is watching this battle for the lead, as the wreckers car having a hard time trying to make that pass and secure that 1st position, although this is not to their team's advantage, as they currently need to score points. They need to score points for leading laps. They need to score points for lapping traffic jammers, and they need to possibly score those 25 victory points that could be the difference between advancing to the final round and going home with 19 plus whatever points they come in here on the day. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. And now you can see the checkers car for the Rainbow Warriors has reassumed the lead over the wreckers car, once again adding on to his lead total and point total for the Rainbow Warriors. You can see the wrecker car here in 2nd, but that checker car is still in 3rd spot, trying to make headway on this lead that is held over him. And in the 4th spot, surprisingly, the wreckers car is back into the picture here, as now you can see traffic jammers are once again all grouped together. And there is maybe a straightaway at best between the checker and the wrecker car for number 1 Racing. As you can see, the wrecker car about to take out his own teammate, battling for the lead here. Oh, that lap might have been a little too close to call to see whether that checker car could lead it. But now the checkers car in 2nd spot for the Rainbow Warriors. But they have already scored a few points so far, but it's not going to be enough to close the 38-point gap that number 1 Racing had on them already. And the checker car just took himself out, with the checker car from behind him finishing him off. There will be no points penalty, as the checker car had wrecked himself off his own wrecker car and now finds himself in the 4th position. Meanwhile, you can see the checkers car here in a distant 2nd behind the wrecker car for the Rainbow Warriors. The Rainbow Warriors just did themselves a horrible disservice, as they put a traffic jammer for number 1 Racing a lap down right now. And unfortunately, that's not points that the Rainbow Warriors can yet take advantage of, but they are once again chasing back down the leaders. As you can see, the checkers cars for both number 1 Racing and Rainbow Warriors in 2nd and 4th respectively. Now completing lap 21, working on lap 22. We have under 10 minutes remaining in this first heat race of round 2. The Rainbow Warriors still have a gap between them and number 1 Racing. Number 1 Racing had a 38-point lead, and they have maybe shrunk that gap by 10 or 15 points at the best. The checker car for number 1 Racing in second spot here, trying to work on his teammate, this traffic jammer here that was in the 10th, or the 9th position. We have 2 traffic jammers a lap down so far, one of them being from the Rainbow Warriors, and that would be 3 more points having been scored for number 1 Racing. And you can see the checkers car here for the Rainbow Warriors still in 4th position. Quite a ways back, probably. 8 minutes, 50 seconds remaining here in this heat race as the Rainbow Warriors still showing the way in this heat race, but not showing the way when it comes to the points, as number 1 Racing still holds about maybe 20-point advantage over them, as they have not only lapped traffic jammers with their checker car, but they came in here with 58 points, giving them a nice point lead over the Rainbow Warriors, which is clearly helping them right now. And you can see that the wrecker car has just quit that traffic jammer a lap down, as the checker car hopes to work between him and that other traffic jammer, possibly get themselves back into a position where they can achieve 10th. So far, turning out to be a low point scoring second heat here. The checkers car for number 1 Racing hoping to get back in front and add to their points total as they go into the final round. And it looks like they might be in that position to go into the final round, as they still hold at least a 20-point advantage over the Rainbow Warriors, as they are lapping these traffic jammers now, regardless of being in second spot and not scoring the points for leading lap. These traffic jammers are still worth 3 points apiece. As you can see, the wrecker car, though, running through this field. The checkers car still have a car between them. Lap 34. Got 6:45 remaining here in this heat race. The Rainbow Warriors putting on a clinic, but not doing them any good, as they have not been able to close the gap enough between themselves and number 1 Racing. The checkers car had a good start, but fell back deep into the field here. A distant fourth, with the wrecker car in a distant third for number 1 Racing. So this is a battle to see if the checker car for number 1 Racing can gain more points as they go into the final round, or hopefully some other kind of calamity can happen that the checker car could score 25 points from the Rainbow Warriors if they were to win, but I just don't see that happening right now, as we are working to now 5 minutes remaining in this round. The Rainbow Warriors might be leading the way, but they have a 20-point plus deficit over number 1 Racing that they need to close up. And so far, traffic jammers have mostly been favorable to number 1 Racing, as checkers car has not put much of anybody a lap down except for 1 car so far that we can see. So that would be at least 3 points for the Rainbow Warriors, aside from the laps that they led so far. But that is still nowhere near enough to be able to close that gap between number 1 Racing and the Rainbow Warriors that they have when they came into this round. 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining on the clock. The Rainbow Warriors still showing the way here and not making headway against number one racing. Number one racing is doing what they need to do. In the meantime, you can see that the Rainbow Warriors and number one racing are fighting for the third position here, as the Checkers car looks to have taken that spot back from number one racing's record car. But that record car is all over his back bumper right now as they work this lap traffic, this traffic jammer. You can see there are a few more traffic jammers up here in the way that the Rainbow Warriors can score points from. That record car wants that third spot right back. You can see the leader is now working on this lap traffic here. The 10th position car going another lap down. Meanwhile, the Checkers car for number one racing is about to score 3 more points for putting this car another lap down. See close within his sights as we are working to 3 minutes left on the clock for this round in round 2. It's been an interesting fight night at the Freedom Factory so far. Junior Nation holds a point lead, scoring total here of 76 points. But in this matchup, number one racing came in with 38 points over the Rainbow Warriors. Rainbow Warriors shortened that up a little bit, but not enough, as their checker car was caught up in chaos going on and fell back deep into the field. They're now trying to work lap traffic, and you can see number one racing just put another car a lap down, adding 3 more points to their total, as there is a lap car between them and the leader right now, coming up on 2 minutes remaining in this heat. The Rainbow Warriors not scoring the points they need to overcome number one racing as we come to the close of this heat race. You can see that the checker and record car for number one racing and the Rainbow Warriors respectively still back in 3rd and 4th here. Still have a ways to go before they can catch up to the leaders. But you can see that the checker car is definitely trying to close that gap and get these cars a lap down here. Oh, and there was a little bit of chaos that the leaders were able to successfully dodge, and you can see the record car for the Rainbow Warrior still maintaining his lead as we close within the final 90 seconds of this heat race. It's looking more and more like number one racing will be advancing to the final round here. You can see the record car for number one racing and the checkers car for the Rainbow Warriors not gaining any more ground here on the leaders. We're working within the final minute here. Rainbow Warriors coming up on more of their own traffic jammers. We give an opportunity for number one racing's checker car to run down the leader. We got 30 seconds remaining. You can see that he is still within the shot. It's a slim shot, but it's a shot. It'll likely be 2 to go at the line as we are working these final laps here. And that will be 2 to go. And time has just expired, so the next lap will be the white flag lap. Number one racing looking pretty good here as they go into the final round. Defense indeed, as the white flag is out and we conclude this round. And there you are, ladies and gentlemen, the conclusion of the first matchup of round 2. Number 1 Racing looks like they have pulled it off and held on tight, but we are going to review the footage and make sure that all of the points that could be obtained had been obtained. Get a double check on the lap lead count for the Rainbow Warriors, and we will figure out all of the math and see where the Rainbow Warriors end up with a final point total. It looks like they're not going to come out of here with any lead or any victory, but still a good points day for them compared to the top 4 in points, who will likely maintain their spots and their seeds going into our next event, which will be the Rumble at the Rock. That's Rockingham Speedway, one of the largest tracks that CWRL will visit throughout the season. And that being said, let's get these points tallied up. Let us find. There you are. I will give that to them now that we have reviewed that real quick. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1. So they got 13 points for leading laps, and let's see. So they missed out on all but one traffic jammer. So that's still not too bad. I think that. And traffic jammer 2. So did not put traffic jammer 2 a second lap down. Okay, so he's still 1 lap down. So they got 3, 6, 9 points for that. 13 points for lead. And 9, that's 22, and that's all she wrote. Sorry for the quiet moment there, folks, while I was calculating everything. The Rainbow Warriors only made 22 points on that round, unfortunately. Which gives them a grand total of 41 points on the day. Not a bad point showing, considering where they were. I mean, it might help them jump up a spot in the points, but it's nothing absolutely outstanding or something that stands out from the ordinary. As for number one racing, they were not able to lead laps at all, but they were, I'm pretty sure, close enough to the leader to where it's a sure bet. Oh, that was Traffic Jammer 1. So they did not put him a second lap down. But everybody else they did. So the points from putting them a lap down will be quite beneficial indeed, as it will score all but one, well, all but 3 of those points, so 15 points. Which only gives them a point total of 73 points going into the final round. So they still have less points scored than Junior Nation just coming out of round 1, which is very interesting. So we're going to see here in just a few moments whether or not it's going to be Junior Nation who take their 76 points and add on to it, or the Smokehouse who close the gap and move on to the final round in a close but small point scoring match with number 1 racing. That being said, stay with us as we get this next round set up here at CWRL's Fight Night at the Freedom Factory. I'm the Geek Guru 1986. Thank you guys for having us in your homes once again.